What up, YouTube? It's your boy SM, and I'm here to show you guys how to cut your own hair. High top fade, intro video, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna show you guys what I do. I've been cutting my hair since I was about 14, 15 years old. So, never went to school for cutting hair or anything like that, but I'm showing you guys an easy way to go ahead and cut your hair high top fade. I normally cut my hair every 4 to 5 days, but I know I was gonna make this video, so I haven't cut it in about a week. But what you need is, you need a pair of clippers. Just any cheap old clippers. I had these for like 10 years. Trimmers. Trimmers are ones to shape the line up. And you also gonna need a comb to make sure your hair is combed down pretty good. And you're gonna need guard. So you go all the way to the 0 or the half guard. This is 1/16. To the 1 guard, and then to the 2 guard, 3/16. I mean, you can go up higher. These are the only 3 guards that I use, as well as I adjust the level of my clippers. So that's pretty much everything you need. You're also going to need a mirror and another mirror. So you need a mirror to see the back of your hair. So you gotta have a mirror there, and you gotta have a mirror here. So what I do is, that way you guys will know, I'll use this mirror to see the back of my head. So that's what I have here. That's the only thing you guys need. So I'm gonna get you guys started out. I have to take my shirt off because I don't like to have a whole bunch of hair stuck on my shirt, but let's get it done. Let's cut this hair. So after I've combed my hair, you know what I mean, I'm not gonna touch the top at all. I mean, I can make another video to show you guys how to shape it up and shape it, but I'm not worried about that. I just wanna get a nice clean cut all the way around so as you guys can see what my hair looks like right now. This probably is like a week or so with a haircut, but so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the clippers, and you can adjust your clippers up and down. It means how high your hair is or how low it is. So I'm gonna go as low as it can go by hitting it this way and as low as it can go. So what I'm first gonna do is cut the line to where I'm gonna fade my hair. So it's gonna be a high top fade. So it's pretty easy, self-explanatory. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm just gonna cut it pretty much an even line all the way across. And as you see, the more you keep going along the skin, the closer, the better cut it will do. So I just go up and down until I start to see the line look even. Pull my ear down. So I just go as far as I can see, and then I'll just stop before I grab my mirror. So the mirror I use to make sure I'm going in a straight line. So again, I go over it a few times till I feel like it's even. And then this is when it gets a little bit tricky because I can't see the side, so I have to use a mirror. So I have my mirror in one hand, I can see the back of my head in the other hand, and I cut it just like that. So me, I normally go to the middle of my head, then I start the other side. I do the same thing. Same thing, so I'll go over here, I'll cut it. You wanna make sure you look at both sides of your hair in the middle, that way your line is the same. So, to make it even, I'll find a marker to make it even with the other side, which is about right here, and I won't go past that line. Same thing here. And now, because I can't see anymore, I got the line, I use my mirror, same thing. So I'm doing a little bit of a lower fade. I like to have my hair even on around all the way around the back. So I don't go too high with my fade, it's a low fade. I go through, clean up the hair I didn't get that I can see for the most part. And I go ahead and just come around and clean it up. Come around and clean it up. I'll look at it a few times to see if that's the shape that I want. So it looks pretty good to me. So then now I'm gonna go from that guard to my number one guard. So this is my number one guard. For number one guard up, I'm gonna start my fade and I'm gonna put my clippers all the way up. Now, like I said, I had clippers for about 10 years. They're not the best clippers, but if I don't hold the lever, it'll just come down by itself. So I'm gonna have the lever fully open, cut all the way around my head with this lever, probably about a half an inch from this to this. So probably about right here with this level, all the way open, and then I'll go back down and lower it to the lowest level and cut it again. So we're gonna start with number one, which is 1/8, all the way open. And do the same thing like I did a while ago on both sides. And find the line, and probably about a quarter, and cut it down. Cut it down. Like I said, it's fully open right now, so it's gonna start my fade. And I'm just going to cut. Now, I mean, you want to make sure you keep brushing your hair, combing your hair down, that way you get all the extra hair. You can see where your line is, and then just go back over it again. Do the same thing from what I can see in the mirror, and then when I can't see anymore, I'll grab the side mirror like this and just do the same thing. It's probably the hardest part, is just trying to get the angle right to cut the hair in the back. But the clippers does all the work. So as long as you have the guard on, you can go as far as you want. So I did the back, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm cleaning my clippers because the hair gets stuck in it, so I just use the comb. Or sometimes you just gotta take your guard off to get it out. No, actually my brush is better. So I brush the guard out, put it back on. Because if the hair gets stuck in the clippers, it won't cut. So clean it out, and then I'm gonna do the left side. Same thing, guard all the way open. Find my line and cut. So I go until I can't see anymore, and then once I can't see, I pull my mirror out to get the other part, which is pretty good at this moment. So what I'm gonna do now, if you can kind of see the hair, it's not laying straight down where I start with the guard, which is probably about right here. on both sides, probably about right here. I'm gonna leave my guard on. This is the 1/8. I'm gonna close it all the way, and I'm gonna go with the grain of my hair, just to get an even closer cut, but not too deep where I have to fade it out. So I'm just gonna go with the grain of my hair all the way open, and then just cut it down, just to get the fade in a little bit easier. The way hairs aren't just sticking off. This is kind of like a cleanup to make it look better for now. And it cleans up that line that was not really faded yet. So I'll do that all the way around, just to make that faded line start to fade a little bit more. Then do the same thing on this side. Guard all the way closed. Fade that line a little bit more. Fade that line a little bit more. Okay, now and again, my guard is all the way closed, so I'm going to go back on my faded line to get a closer fade in. So now I'm going back over my initial fade with the guard all the way closed. Again, it's all the way closed. Just to start that fading process. Again, all the way closed, 1/4 of an inch up. Keep pulling it down. Make sure your clippers are free of all hair. And again, 1/4 of the way. So now you can get to kind of see what your hair is going to look like and where it is. And if you like the shape, then you're good. This is where you can adjust it if you wanted to go up higher or lower. Fades. And now you want to make sure you fade your line. You fade your line in. So now that you have the hair, the length that you want on the sides, you don't want to see that line to stay there. You want to fade that line in. So again, you go to the, so this was the 1. You just go down a guard, and this is the 1/16, one from the 1/8 to 1/16. And I'm gonna start with this all the way open. So put my guard on, all the way to the top, all the way open. Make sure I'm calm down, and I'm gonna start to fade this line in. Fade this line in. Fade this line there. Do the same thing, guard all the way open, all the way around. I think the hardest part is just trying to hold your clippers when you're doing this part. But you can practice doing this with a bigger guard just to get used to holding the clippers properly. So I did that side, and I'm gonna start this side. Again, you just wanna fade that line to make that line not so transparent. Continue to comb the hairs and do it on both sides. So once I start to see the fade, again, that was fully open. Now I'm gonna close it all the way. So now as low as it can go. I'm gonna do the same thing. I like to brush my hair. Sometimes as it gets shorter, it's harder to see the line. So when you brush it, it's more defined. All the way down, I'm gonna do it again. Fade that line even more. Just stay along that line, just to fade out that portion. Just to fade it out even more. Same side. So I'm gonna fade it out even more. So once you've done to fade it, you look at it, think if you like the blend. If you wanted to go a little bit higher, you just look at your hair, use your clippers, use the sides, and see if it's faded. So with me, it looks pretty good. This side could be a little bit denser, smaller. So I'm going to use the guard number 1 again, go with the grain of my hair, and bring it down just a touch. So I don't like this a little bit long on the sides. So again, the number 1 all the way down, just to clean it up. And this is all on preference, what you like your fade or size to look. I like mine kind of close to the end, so I just cut it down. Again, I'm not gonna touch the top at all. So normally I do, I shape it, but not for this video. I'm just gonna go ahead and fade this out. Make sure the fade looks even for the most part. And that's about it. I have a spot that I can see that the hair is a little bit longer that I want to try to get back here. Alright. So that's pretty much the faded part for the most part. The hard work is done. I'm just gonna go back around to clean up the sides with the no guard at all the way down, just to get all the excess hair that I might have missed. So just one swoop around all the sides again, one more time, just to be safe. And I'm just eyeballing it. Nothing too crazy. I'm not going past my faded line, just where I initially used the no guard all the way around. Just at the very bottom. I'm not touching my faded line because I don't want to do all my work all over again. I'm just cleaning up the back and the sides. And again, this is a high fade, bald on the sides, cheap clippers, and that's the faded part. Next part people don't like to do is a lineup, but I'm gonna show you guys a lineup as well because I can line my own hair up. Okay, so now we're in a lineup. A lot of people don't like to do the lineup. It's like the hardest part for some people, but for me, I think it's just pretty easy. I mean, you brush your hair out to see your natural line. I mean, most people's hair naturally isn't a straight line, so you either want to draw that line or you want to go with your natural hairline. So if you guys can see, my natural hairline here goes up a little bit here and comes back down. I have a widow's peak, so it really comes really far down here and goes back up. So what I tend to do with mine is I make this line start to about here to try to keep an even flow across. It's just up to you how you want to have your hair, but I don't mind taking my widow's peak back a little bit more to give myself more of a straight line. So I switched over to my trimmers. I have a few trimmers. These ones are actually broke, if you can see on the side, but they're my sharpest trimmers that I like to use the most. They're the Andes. I spend more money on my trimmers because I feel like the shape up is more important for me And then everything else is pretty easy. Any cheap clippers can cut your hair, but the trimmers is what you need. And I have these other trimmers that I bought off of Instagram. They're not as sharp, but I like it because my son doesn't like his hair to be cut really tight and it hurts. So these are very, very good. They're easy, they're just not as sharp. So I use these on my son. I use these on my mustache and beard, stuff like that, or if I'm trying to clean up the sides. But normally, for the good sharp, I just use this. So you start out, always start at the middle. So I start in the middle of this line I know has to go back. So you start with that line and it's kind of like an artist. You're just drawing yourself your line, but you have to start in the middle. So you go right there in the middle, keep the clipper straight, come down. Straight, come down. So now see where I'm at? To me, it's almost straight, but I know I need to go back a little bit further. So I'll just take it back a little further. So I have to go back. I know this side goes in a little bit more, so I have to make this side, I'll do this side first because it's the side that actually goes in. And I want everything to be even to that side, so. Once I have taken it back, I think that's even. With the excess hair that I see there. And that will be my starting point. So that is my line. So that line is the line I'm going to continue to cover on both sides. So I drew that line. I took it back as you guys saw. And then I just go along slightly up and down, grabbing the hairs as I cut slightly. Mind you, all this, I'm looking in the mirror. So it's a little bit skewed when you look in the mirror of your own self, but for the most part, I get the look that I need. So I stop, I look back and see like, okay, I like that line. Does that line look pretty straight? For the most part, for how my hairline is for me, that's pretty straight. So once I get the right side, I go ahead and go to the other side. I look at it, okay, looks about straight. Could go like, my hair kind of grows funny over here on this side. So I just do it based off of my preference to get it as close to straight as possible. But it kind of like tilts to the side, which I don't mind it. I'm already married, so I don't have to impress anybody. If I never cut my hair, my wife will like it either way, so. But yeah, so go there. I get my initial top line. And that's it, so then I have to do the sides. So my sides, I like to fade them down, have more of an angle look, so I just angle them out. Take the clippers, angle my clippers, and angle it out. This whole shaping is preference thing. Everybody's hair don't grow the same, doesn't look straight, but for me, I don't use any enhancements. I don't dye the sides or anything like that. I just use only clippers. So I don't mind it too much. Then you just draw the curve. So I like the curve. I just use the edge of the clippers and curve the sides. It's hard to look at my phone and then look in the mirror, but I'm doing the best that I can so you guys can kind of see what I have to do here. So me, when I do my fade, I bald the sides, the corners from the ear. So I just use my trimmers and I go from here all the way up. Just if you're doing like a taper fade here. So I do that there so the sides will be clean. Which is lower than the 1 or 1/8 guard that I had. This is trimmer, so it's all over here. As you guys can see, this kind of needs to be faded a little bit more. So because it's like it's a defined line, I'd rather have that be faded in a little bit more. So I'll come back and I'll fix that. So back to the other side, same thing. I'll draw this line myself here, and then I'll shape it. And I always use the edge of the trimmers. It's easier to shape and you use the edge. Again, I'm gonna ball the sides like this. Where the sides are always pretty clean. And that's that. In the back, the same thing. Because it's already in the back, I'll do a line for the most part, pretty much bald. But I'll draw the line from my ear down. I use the clippers to move my ear out the way. It doesn't cut my ear, but it moves my ear out the way. And I just draw the line on both sides. And because I use a number 1, I can just go ahead and just, same thing, bald it out. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna fix this one side that I wanted to fade out. I'll do it on the same video that way you can see it. It'll make it look a little bit better. I mean, I'm not that picky. I mean, this isn't a professional haircut. This is a home haircut to get you through the week. If you got a date, you're going out. My hair looked a lot better than it did before I cut it. So, you know, if you want enhancements, you want to be professional, you get the straight razor, but the colors, then pay for it. But this haircut is free, so something you can do, get yourself cleaned up for a date or a weekend. You can't get out because of quarantine. The barbershop isn't open. It looks pretty good if you ask me. So this is the cut. I faded it. Like I said, low fade, even all the way around. Gets you through. Looks like I got a haircut and I'm ready to go. So if you like the video, if it's helpful, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Peace.